In 2017, Japan was gripped by a chilling mystery. The disappearance of a young woman leading to an investigation that unearthed a horrifying series of crimes. This dark tale unfolded in Kanagawa Prefecture, nestled within the bustling Tokyo metropolitan area, with the city of Yokohama at its core. The central figure of this tragic narrative was 23-year-old Tamura Aiko from Hachioji City. Her family, comprising her parents and an older brother, was plunged into despair by her sudden vanishing. Tamura, a quiet and socially reserved individual, had left school after junior high and lived with her mother following her parents' divorce. Tragedy struck in May 2017 when Tamura lost her mother to illness, a devastating blow that sent her spiraling into mental health challenges. Diagnosed with schizophrenia, her condition deteriorated, necessitating care in a psychiatric facility. Despite the physical distance, her brother kept a lifeline of support through social media, offering words of comfort and hope. But in October 2017, Tamura mysteriously disappeared. During the frantic search, her brother uncovered a string of crimes that sent shockwaves throughout Japan. The fate of Tamura and the other victims became a pressing, haunting enigma, begging for resolution in this unnerving chapter of Japan's criminal history. Turn the clock back to October 23rd, 2017. It was a Monday marked by silence, the third consecutive day without word from Tamura, deeply worrying her elder brother. Concerned about her fragile health and propensity for impulsive decisions, he decided to scour her Twitter for any hints of her whereabouts. A tweet from September 20th sent chills down his spine. It was a haunting plea for a death companion. "I want to die, but not alone. Willing to join. DM me. In Tokyo. Ready to meet. Do you have a car?" Among several replies, one was particularly disturbing. "Use drugs or alcohol to dull the fear. My loft is available for this." Tamura's response, 21 days later, was one of sheer desperation. "Can we do it today? I have just 1,000 yen. Can we proceed tool-free? Where are you? Male or female?" These exchanges set off alarm bells for her brother, fearing a sinister encounter. In a bid to find her, he posted a missing person notice on her account, describing the mysterious man and seeking public help. After a fruitless day, he turned to the police. Their investigation swiftly led to a pivotal clue. Tamura was last seen at Hachioji Station at 13:45 on October 23rd, accompanied by a man in his mid-20s, distinguished by shoulder-length black hair and a slender build. They were tracked traveling from Hachioji to Machida Station, then taking the Odawara line to Sobudaimai Station in Zama City, a significant distance from her home. By 14:04, they had arrived. By 7 p.m., they had both disappeared from the station. The case took a turn when an internet user who had interacted with the man contacted Tamura's Twitter with information. They arranged a meeting with the man for October 30th at Sobudaimai Station. Anticipating danger, the police advised the woman not to go and sent undercover officers instead, Tamura's brother in tow. That afternoon, the surveillance team identified a man matching the description from the footage, seemingly waiting for someone. With caution, they followed him to a nearby 2-story boarding house, a mere 750 meters from the station. The man ascended to his room with the police in pursuit. Greeted by a repugnant smell upon knocking on his door, they were met with a grim sight as the door swung open. Tamura's brother spotted her white bag inside. Upon questioning about Tamura, the man chillingly gestured towards an icebox, suggesting her presence within. The layout of the house was simple yet foreboding. Upon entry, to the left lay the bathroom and kitchen, above which a small attic was perched. The living room, where the grisly discovery was made, was situated in this immediate area. The police discovered 8 boxes, and upon opening a freezer directed by the apprehended man, they uncovered an appalling scene. Hidden beneath layers of cat litter, human heads and various bones were found, the remains of those who had been missing for days. A rapid inspection of the 8 boxes in the living room revealed that 7 contained dismembered human bones, while the 8th was a chaotic pile. The man was swiftly restrained, and a significant number of police officers were deployed to the scene, commencing an official investigation. At the crime scene, apart from a box with toxic substances, the remaining 7 boxes held a total of 9 human heads and 240 bone fragments, amidst a pervasive stench of decay. The police also found a saw, scissors, a rope, and a series of other incriminating tools, along with several pairs of shoes and leather wallets in a blood-stained bathroom. The forensic examination determined that among the 9 victims, 1 was male. All had been dismembered, and their causes of death were yet to be ascertained. The most recent passing was less than 2 weeks prior, and the oldest approximately 3 months. Outside the house, as news spread, a crowd, including numerous journalists, gathered. The police covered the crime scene with blue tarps. Neighbors, questioned by the police, reported no unusual noises, attributed to the proximity of the railway. However, many locals had noted a foul odor since a man moved into the 2nd floor of the building. By November 9th, 2017, 16 days after the incident, police identified the 9 victims through DNA matching. These included Miura Mizuki, a 21-year-old office worker from Atsuge, Kanagawa Prefecture, 15-year-old high school student Hongye Ishihara from Komatsuga District, and others aged between 17 and 26, many with mental health issues. This case sent shockwaves through Japanese society, raising questions about how the perpetrator managed to commit 9 sequential murders in a matter of months. The identity of the suspect was subsequently revealed. Takahiro Shiraishi, born in October 1990 in Zama City, emerged as a central figure in a series of chilling incidents. At 27, unemployed and residing just 2.8 kilometers from his family home in Komatsu-ha, Zama City, his life trajectory was shadowed by complexity and darkness. His family, consisting of his parents and a younger sister, lived a seemingly ordinary life. His father was an auto parts designer and his mother a homemaker. But beneath this veneer, Takahiro harbored a deep-seated self-centeredness and a disregard for others' emotions. His childhood was marked by aloofness. In elementary and junior high, he was a withdrawn figure, barely noticeable, even in his graduation photo. Family discord, culminating in his parents' divorce, saw Takahiro choosing to live with his father. This period saw him increasingly disengaged from school, taking up part-time jobs with the aim of gaining independence. It was during this time that he made a failed attempt at suicide, using burning charcoal alongside others with similar intentions. Post-high school, Takahiro found employment at a supermarket, where he was noted for his work ethic and skills. He later transitioned to an electronics company, simultaneously engaging in the darker world of pimping and associating with unsavory characters. In August 2012, at 22, Takahiro ventured into Tokyo's notorious Kabukicho district, a hub of adult entertainment. He took a job recruiting women for a local establishment, earning a substantial income of up to 300,000 yen, about $2,200, monthly, inclusive of referral fees and commissions. Despite this, his extravagant lifestyle left him with little savings. February 2017 marked a turning point when Takahiro was arrested in Kabukicho for trafficking a girl, resulting in a 14-month suspended sentence and 3 years of probation. During probation, he briefly worked for a logistics company before returning to Zama, Kanagawa Prefecture. Back home, Takahiro's life became one of seclusion, spending days in a darkened room, immersed in the online world. In Japanese culture, such withdrawal is not uncommon, stemming from various societal pressures. Japan, with a tragic statistic of 70 suicides daily, predominantly male, has the highest rate globally. Takahiro tapped into the dark undercurrents on Twitter, where discussions of death and suicide were rampant. He created 5 Twitter accounts, 1 for public discourse on these morbid topics, and 4 for private interactions. He skillfully manipulated these platforms to connect with vulnerable individuals. From this moment, Takahiro Shiraishi embarked on a heinous journey, exploiting the vulnerabilities of those in despair, setting the stage for his eventual descent into murder. In August 2017, 27-year-old unemployed Takahiro Shiraishi's path crossed with Miura Mizuki, a 21-year-old office worker, through the digital realms of Twitter. Mizuki, who endured bullying in high school, struggled with adjustment disorder and often found solace in Twitter's darker corners. It was here that she connected with like-minded individuals, sharing her despondent thoughts. In a twist of fate, Mizuki narrowly escaped death during a planned group suicide at the beach. This close call led her to Takahiro and another online acquaintance, 20-year-old Takugo Nishinaka. The trio convened in a park, conspiring a joint suicide pact. However, Nishinaka, after a moment of introspection, chose to step back from the brink, opting for a renewed lease on life. Mizuki, rattled by Nishinaka's withdrawal, informed Takahiro she too would not proceed. Nonetheless, over time, Takahiro cultivated a close online rapport with Mizuki, discovering her significant savings. Viewing her as both a romantic and financial target, he meticulously laid out a diabolical plan. Takahiro began amassing tools, a saw, rope, and leased a room near Sobudaimai Station, later infamous as the site of his grisly acts. Its affordability and lack of surveillance rendered it a haven for his criminal intents. Under the guise of needing a deposit for the apartment, Takahiro enticed Mizuki into paying 510,000 yen, about $3,600. 3 days after moving in, he orchestrated a meeting with her at the apartment. There, he drugged her drink with sleeping pills, and once she succumbed, he executed his premeditated murder with a rope he had prepared. Facing the aftermath as a novice in crime, Takahiro spent 3 days meticulously dismembering Mizuki's body in the bathroom. As decomposition set in, he resorted to storing body parts in the refrigerator. Night after night, he discreetly disposed of the remains in nearby bins. The challenge of severing and disposing of the head led him to purchase ice boxes and cat litter, using them to conceal the head among their contents. This meticulous and macabre process marked the beginning of Takahiro's descent into infamy. On August 28, 2017, Takahiro Shiraishi's grim sequence of crimes continued, this time ensnaring 15-year-old student Hongye Ishihara. Ishihara, a reserved girl who enjoyed connecting with new friends online during her junior high years, frequently found herself at odds with her mother about her studies. After a particularly intense argument, she fled from her home. It was during this period of vulnerability, while scouring social media, that she encountered Takahiro. Following his established modus operandi, he enticed her to his apartment, where he replicated the same ruthless actions he had inflicted on his previous victim. The mysterious vanishings of Mizuki and Ishihara set off alarm bells for their families, who quickly alerted the authorities. Investigations pointed to a chilling coincidence. The last traces of their mobile phones were near Sobudaimai Station in Zama City. Despite thorough searches in the vicinity, the police unearthed no leads. Takahiro, cloistered in his apartment, remained undetected and beyond suspicion. The saga took another dark turn with 20-year-old Takugo Nishinaka, a young man grappling with high-functioning autism. A painful breakup precipitated a hospital stay, and a subsequent encounter with his ex-girlfriend pushed him to the brink of suicide, only to be narrowly prevented. His struggles at work added to his growing despair, nudging him toward suicidal thoughts. Takugo, who knew Mizuki, reached out to Takahiro when he couldn't contact her. After meeting Takahiro, his desire to end his life surprisingly abated, and he even communicated his newfound determination to live on to Takahiro. However, Takahiro, sensing a potential threat in Takugo that might link him to Mizuki's disappearance and thus draw police attention, acted swiftly. He lured Takugo to his apartment under a guise, drugged him, and executed him in the same manner as he had with Mizuki and Ishihara. With 3 victims now within the confines of his apartment, the odor of decay became overpowering. In a desperate attempt to mask the smell, Takahiro tried cooking the remains, but the stench persisted. Neighbors, although aware of the foul smell, attributed it to a nearby sewer and did not probe further, unwittingly allowing Takahiro's heinous acts to continue unchecked. Undeterred by his sinister acts, Takahiro Shiraishi continued his macabre spree after executing 3 horrific crimes. He soon found a romantic partner online who, unaware of his dark deeds, moved into his apartment with him. His next victim was 19-year-old university student Sarake Hinako, battling mental health challenges following a reprimand from her mother. On September 15, 2017, seizing an opportunity when his girlfriend was out, Takahiro lured Sarake Hinako to his lair, perpetuating his murderous pattern. In quick succession, Takahiro targeted 26-year-old Hitomi Fujima, a divorced mother grappling with her child's disabilities and fraught familial ties. Her despair, voiced on Twitter amidst a second divorce and eviction, caught Takahiro's predatory eye. Their meeting took a sinister turn when a call from Hitomi's ex-husband threatened to disrupt his plans, prompting him to swiftly and ruthlessly end her life. To mitigate the odors emanating from his increasing number of victims, Takahiro ingeniously modified the apartment's ventilation system. His relentless spree claimed 4 more lives, totaling 9 women. A chilling detail emerged. The 9th box at the crime scene, ominously empty, was intended for a 10th victim. But the timely intervention of the police prevented further tragedy. The case's complexity and the imperative for thorough evidence gathering delayed the trial's commencement for nearly 3 years. Finally, on September 30th, 2020, proceedings began in Tokyo court. Takahiro's confession was juxtaposed with his defense's plea for leniency due to alleged mental health issues. Throughout the trial, he expressed remorse and extended apologies to the victims' families. The court, however, found no grounds for leniency, sentencing him to death on December 15, 2020. In the aftermath, Twitter's Japanese branch urgently revised its policies, banning content related to suicide and self-harm and ensuring prompt removal of any violations. This harrowing case underscores the sanctity of life and the importance of resilience in the face of despair. It reminds us to seek help and support in our darkest moments, for circumstances can and do change. This video concludes our exploration of this tragic tale, but the lessons it imparts remain. Until we meet again in future videos, goodbye, and remember to cherish every moment of life.